So let me show you how every other asset is leaking. Boom! Now you can't tell me that what you see here is a leaky boat. Let's take a 5-month time frame. In comparison to Bitcoin, how much is gold leaking against Bitcoin? So we're going to price gold in Bitcoin. Let me show you the leak in gold. We're going to do gold, sats, USD. Now, look at where Bitcoin was born. Gold was rising like this until Bitcoin was born. As soon as Bitcoin's born, gold begins to crash against Bitcoin. What you're looking at here, people, is gold leaking. Bitcoin came into the world to show you the truth of what your leaky boats, the boats you thought were giant yachts, you're sunbathing on them, you're barbecuing on your yacht, you think life is good, and Bitcoin is saying, wait a minute, it's time to stop being duped. It's time to stop being fooled. You're on a sinking boat. You're going to die. Let me show you. And Bitcoin is showing you. This is the leak in gold. I'm not making this up, guys. This is not my chart. Do you see that? Do you see the leak in gold? Do you see what's happening with gold when you look at it through the eyes of Bitcoin? See it? Yes? You still with us? All right, cool. I'm not finished. Let's keep looking at the other leaks. You say, well, Oliver, let's look at the US dollar. DXY, SATS, USD. Right? See that symbol? Boom. Here is the US dollar's leaky boat. Do you see it collapsing? Do you see your dollar, the strongest currency in the world, the king, the world's reserve currency? Oh, what a title. This picture, people, is the picture of your life melting away. You wake up every day of your life with the dollar on your mind. You think all day long in dollars. How much does it cost? What am I going to earn? What's the fee for that? Wow, did you see how much he's worth? Your whole life is dominated by dollars. You go to work for another man. Most of you work for other men, which Bitcoin can free you from. But you work for another man. Another man tells you what to do. Another man tells you you need to be here by this time and you need to stay here by this time. He tells you what he's going to pay you. Another man. This is what you call freedom. Another man pays you in this. And meanwhile, what you are giving your life for, which is your time, is the stuff that life is made up of, right? So if you're working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week to make that, you are giving your time in exchange for your time, which is your life, right? You've only got a certain amount of time, which makes up your life, no? So you're giving your time, which is your life. You're giving your life to another man for this. And look at your life. Just take a look at it. The incredible shrinking man. I'm shrinking. Do anybody remember the, what was it? The Wizard of Oz? I'm shrinking. What other boat do you want to see? Oh, wait a minute. But Oliver, if I put my money in the S&P 500, I would have been great. Oh, really? You think so? Let's take a look at the S&P, shall we? SPY, SATS, USD. There you go. Until Bitcoin came on the scene, nothing else could show us the leaks. They were hidden. The leaks were hidden. They were hiding the leaks from us. Our very lives were being leaked away. Our very lives were being sucked away from us, but ever so quietly, ever so gradually, ever so stealthily. It is Bitcoin that came on the scene that said, look, I got a secret. Look, your life is leaking. We've been duped. We've been shamboozled. We've been tricked. We've been freaking robbed. We've been taught our whole lives. From the moment you wake up, you are to get educated. You are to get skilled. Why? To work for this. You are to go out and go into debt. Why? To get a great education and go into debt. Why? So that you can work for another man to earn this. Don't you want to work for another man to earn that? To earn that leaky boat? At first, we were taught just to work for this, the dollar, right? So your grandparents were taught to save, work for dollars and save for the future without you knowing. This is what's happening to your savings, which represents the time that you gave for it. Time is your life, which means it represents your life. Your life is sinking. Your grandparents were taught to save. When it became obvious that savings doesn't work, the game was changed on you, right? It says, oh, don't save, invest. You see, because the cat was out of the bag about savings, that didn't work. It was proven mathematically, it just doesn't work. So when the cat was out of the bag, they could no longer say, well, can't tell them to save now. I have an idea. I got it. Let's kick the can down the road and tell them it's not savings. You got to invest. You got to become a hedge fund manager. I know you work 65 hours a week, but on top of all of that, on top of working 60, 65 hours a week, you have to now dedicate more time to become a freaking hedge fund manager. You've got to become an educated investor. Yes, now that's your responsibility. I know we told you to go to school, get educated so that you can work for another man for the dollar and save the dollars. No, that doesn't work anymore. You still have to work for another man to earn the dollars, but now you got to take the dollars that are dropping and leaking. You'll get ahead now on top of that if you invest. Now become expert investors, people. That's how you stay ahead. And then that game started to come in play. Think about this, guys. You're told, and we accepted this, on top of me trying to become an expert at what I do, an expert plumber, an expert accountant, an expert teacher. I dedicate a big portion of my life to be an expert there. Now I have to be an expert here in the global financial freaking markets? That's what you're telling me? We were tricked. And somebody will say, well, okay, well, you don't want to become an investor? Well, I got another game for you. Why don't you become a real estate mogul? Yeah, because saving is not going to cut it. So you got to put this declining dollar somewhere. So if you're not going to put it in stocks, put it in real estate. Because you want to become a hedge fund manager? You want to become a global investment manager? All right, then fine. Put it in real estate. Let's take a look at real estate, shall we? BNQ. Sats, USD. There's your real estate boat. Now stare at it while I take a sip. You want to get out of Bitcoin and go to this? You want to go to a shitcoin? There have been 65,000 shitcoins. They proliferate every single day. How many successes? How many? How many successes? Is there anything finished? Is there any project that has any success? Is there anything that's outside of the promise, outside of the marketing? Well, it's going to do this. We hear a lot of that. Out of 65,000 attempts, look at this record. Zero. Zero, people. Zero. Everything is just a promise. It's a piece of paper. It's a freaking white paper, which they got from Satoshi. Let's do a white paper. And let's say it's going to do this better than Bitcoin and that better than Bitcoin. And they're the fastest leaking boats. 65,000, 95+% are zero today. Zero. You want to get out of freedom, the thing with no leak, the thing that is the best performing asset on planet Earth over the past 15 years, over the past 10 years, the best thing that has ever happened, the thing that has outperformed every single thing that human beings have regarded dear, the safest protocol that the world has ever known, the only thing on planet Earth that cannot be controlled, touched, confiscated, debased, stolen by another human being, organization, country, or nation state. The only thing we have, you want to leave that. For this, every boat is leaking. I want to show you gold through the lie. Okay, can I? I'm going to show you. Here's gold through the lie. Impressive. Very impressive. That is through the lie. All-time new highs. That is through the lie. Gold via the US dollar. That's the lie. The US dollar is the lie. The second one is the glasses. The first one is the item. Look at me carefully. The same way I have these glasses on. I can put the US dollar glasses on to look at gold, or I can take the Bitcoin glasses and look at gold. The dollar glasses, that's not the truth. Bitcoin is revealing the truth. But let me put the US dollar glasses on and look at gold. And that's it. That's the US dollar glasses. Now, when I take the dollar glasses off and I do the same, guys, the same symbol, GOLD, you see the symbol there? GOLD. Now I'm going to look at GOLD via the glasses of Bitcoin, GOLD slash, I'm going to change the glasses from the US dollar, to Bitcoin, SATS USD. That's the symbol for all of Bitcoin's history. See, Satoshi all-time history. With BTC, you don't get the full history, but with this symbol, SATS, SATS USD, you get the entire history. So we need the entire history. Here's the glasses of Bitcoin. We're being tricked. We're being lied to. And so when we put the proper glasses on now, we finally have the proper glasses. We finally have the truth. And we see what's really happening now. Remember I mentioned the Wizard of Oz? When Dorothy and her crew, finally, they were searching for the Wizard of Oz to give them the truth and to provide what the answers to what they felt they needed. And when they finally discovered the Emerald City and they found Oz and lifted the curtain, what they saw was a lie. What they saw was the truth, which made them realize everything was a lie. Bitcoin allows us to lift the curtain and see Oz for what he is. He's a liar. We've been lied to this whole time. Of course, the people living in the Emerald City, they still believe in Oz. But those few, Dorothy and those few, found the truth. Once you see this, guys, you can't unsee it ever again. You can't ever see it. You can't ever unsee this, guys. And my function is to help you see it if you haven't seen it before. That is my whole function, is to say, let me show you the curtain. Come here. Let's peek. It's a lie. Now let's put different glasses on, right? Let's take the Bitcoin glasses off and let's look at money supply glasses. It's always good to measure things against the money supply because that's what you're racing against. Do you understand? You're racing against the money supply. If you're not winning against money supply, your life is melting. You got to stay ahead of money supply. Let's put the money supply glasses on and measure gold through the money supply. M2SL, that's the symbol for money supply. This is produced by the Federal Reserve. So remember, we're now looking at gold. The second item is the glasses. The glasses, the second item is looking at the first item, gold. Okay, boom. Gold is the item you're looking at. The second symbol is the glasses. We're taking the glasses of M2 money supply, M2SL, and we're looking at gold. Now, when you look at gold through the M2SL figure, is gold outperforming the money supply? No, but gold is it. But Oliver, that's what the naysayers say, you know. But Oliver, gold's at an all-time new high. Gold is rocking. Gold's at an all-time new high. I don't give a shit. Look at what it's doing in relationship to the freaking M2 money supply. This is what your life's supposed to be outperforming. You got to outperform money supply. Otherwise, you are underwater, buddy. You're drowning. Gold has got to go a long way to start outperforming the money supply. You're losing. Remember, that all-time new high picture is through the glasses of the lie. We have to look at assets through money supply and Bitcoin. So remember these two glasses that you should judge everything by. Guys, one of the best performing assets over the past 10 years is NVIDIA, right? So let's take a look at NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA's done better than most, of course. And so for the last few years, it's been holding well. You see that? Now that's very impressive, but it's been holding well. I mean, it's been basically holding steady for 5 years, but it's about to go down. I'm telling you, this will break to new lows. Oh, yes, it will. I want you to get in the habit, guys, of taking the proper glasses. You have three glasses now: the US dollar, which is what you are doing most of your looking through. You have the dollar, you have Bitcoin now, and you have M2SL, M2 money supply. And you got to get in the habit of looking at all three, and it will change your life. All right. It will change your life if you do this. When you look at everything through these three glasses, especially Bitcoin, what you're starting to do is to use Bitcoin as your unit of account. You start to realize things like that cost of what I'm about to buy is X percentage of a Bitcoin. I'm not doing it. Or this is not as good as Bitcoin because look at it priced in Bitcoin. I'm thinking about selling Bitcoin to go into this, to go into what? Everything is leaking against Bitcoin. What do you sell the item that's not leaking for if everything else that you sell it for is leaking? You don't. That's only if you're ignorant. That's only if you are blind and not looking through the proper glasses.